When is a Jew really Jewish? Parents have brought a case against the Jewish Free School for racial discrimination after their son was rejected entrance on the grounds that his mother, although a convert to Judaism, was not properly Jewish. The Orthodox school was following the definition laid down by the chief rabbi. His court, the Bet Din, states that conversion has to include sincerity in practice, and they judged that in this case the mother's conversion was not sincere, despite the fact that the boy in question is an observant practicing Jew. It's a case that could have a big impact on similar such disputes and on faith schools in general. Well, earlier I spoke to Rabbi Yitzhak Skotchet from the Mill Hill Synagogue and Rabbi Danny Rich, the chief executive of Liberal Judaism. And I began by asking him why the school shouldn't simply be allowed to accept whomever it wants.
Well, first of all, it's a state-funded school, and second, it claims to be a Jewish school. And the governors currently operate an admissions policy whereby they define Jewish under a rule which is applicable to only a part of the community and part of the Jewish community. And indeed, I would suggest a diminishing part of the Jewish community. And it seems to me that if the school wants to be funded by the taxpayer and it wants to claim to be a Jewish school as opposed to a particular Jewish school of a particular part of the Jewish community, then it has an obligation to stop this unfair, discriminatory and politically motivated admissions policy.
Yitzhak Skotchet, how do you respond to that it's being too narrow in its admissions policy?
Of course, if you take that argument to its logical conclusion, you would have to say that maybe because it's funded by the state, allow in as many non-Jews as well. By virtue of the fact that the state has allowed for the school to determine that only Jewish students come within, then certainly it's up to the school itself to determine what it does consider to be not politically motivated, but halakhically, Jewish law motivated, a definition of a Jew.
Well, you've probably heard this quote from David Lightman, who's Maya Lightman's father. He says that you could eat bacon every day and have no problem getting into this school, but a religiously practicing Jew, his daughter, cannot attend.
I think what we need to appreciate is how we define a Jew. Yes, there are more observant Jews and less observant Jews, but a Jew per se is either someone born of a Jewish mother, as is determined by Jewish law itself, or someone who converts to the faith and adheres to the dictates and mandates on the back of that conversion. So someone who's born of a Jewish mother and eats pork every single day may not be an observant Jew, but they're a Jew nonetheless. Somebody who has a questionable conversion in the first instance may in fact not be Jewish.
Well, and we would argue that the school ought to be admitting, for example, the children of Jewish fathers. That's what I mean discrimination. It discriminates against the children of Jewish fathers who have a non-Jewish mother. The politics they're playing is to try and support their particular understanding, whoever there is, of who is a Jew. It is perfectly legitimate for the state to say, if we're going to fund this school, it will be funded on the basis that the definition of who is a Jew is not constrained or confined to only one section of the Jewish community.
This is, Danny Rich says, about one particular group saying these people are more Jewish than these people.
Let's put this in perspective. It's not a question of these people are more Jewish than these people. It's that these people are Jewish and these people are not. It's not that someone is making up that law. That's a law from the Torah itself. That's a law that dates back 3,320 years.
Are you saying that the light kids are not at all Jewish?
Where in the Torah does it say that the child of a Jewish mother is Jewish and the child of a Jewish father is not Jewish?
At the end of the portion of Ava et Hanan, which is in Deuteronomy chapter 6. As it is a Jewish school, it wants to cater specifically to Jewish children. And Jewish children by what has always been historical, traditional definition of Jewish, not what has become a new innovative definition of Judaism in the last 40, 50 years.
No.